Oh my fucking god. Happy Halloween, everybody. Jesus fucking Christ, man.
I shouldn't be allowed to find things.
So, basically, we fucking. So, I asked Austin, oh, we're both, like, not doing anything right now. You want to do something? Austin says, sure. There's this. I found that there is this Halloween episode of Raw from 2005, and so that's what we did. Now, would you like to explain to everyone how exactly you found this?
Twitter.
Like, did you just randomly fucking
It was just on my
see it?
timeline, bro.
Jesus Christ.
It was just on my timeline.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Well, this was quite the show. So, if you want to know what happened on this show, this was fucked, bro. It was so fucked. I don't understand like how you just continue to find just the worst things. But
Oh no.
alas, fucking so the show starts off with fucking Jonathan Coachman dressed as Stone Cold Steve Austin, and fucking then we see fucking Eric Bischoff come out, Salt and Pepper Eric Bischoff to be exact, and he's not alone. Oh no,
Mm.
because with him comes the masterpiece Chris Masters, and they get in the ring, and Eric Bischoff starts talking about how Taboo Tuesday is tomorrow night. Now, if you guys don't know what Taboo Tuesday was, it was this special event they did where fans could vote on match types or who was going to be in a match, or even for one of the matches, what kind of fucking attire the divas were going to be wearing. So this was the go home show for Taboo Tuesday, and Eric Bischoff was talking about how at Taboo Tuesday there was going to be an interpromotional Raw versus SmackDown match, and fucking he was saying how that Chris Masters wanted to have a Master Lock challenge right here, right now, and he's like, so his opponent being accompanied uh, by the SmackDown general manager Theodore Long. Fucking Rey Mysterio comes out. Teddy Long and Rey Mysterio come out, and Rey Mysterio was wearing this fucking Mexican flag jumpsuit, and him and Teddy Long get in the ring, and Chris Masters is like, he calls him Ray Ray, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta respect you for having the guts to. I didn't think you'd have the guts to come out here and accept my challenge and blah 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 blah." And then he fucking set up a steel chair and he like stood Rey Mysterio on the steel chair and he was like, "Sorry, Rey, but you gotta be at least this tall to accept the Master Lock challenge." And he's like, "You got anything to say?" And then Ray like takes the microphone and he's like, "No, not really. I just want to make a statement." And he fucking hits Chris Masters with the microphone, and he just like fucking starts beating up Chris Masters, right? And we're thinking, okay, like, what the fuck is going on? Then fucking Eric
Mm-hmm.
Bischoff starts saying like, "Oh, get out here right now, get out here right now," and I shit you not, the first person that, because the Raw, well, not all of the locker room, but some of the Raw locker room came down, and the first person that we saw was none other than fucking Kerwin White was the first person to run down the stage, followed by Dolph Ziggler, followed then by Edge and Lita, fucking Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch, and whoever the fuck else was there.
Snitsky.
Mm-hmm. So then they all start beating up Rey Mysterio, and then the SmackDown superstars come out from the crowd, and we see Matt Hardy, fucking Christian, fucking who else was there? It was Hardcore Holly was there. Fucking
Hardcore Holly. I'm trying to think. JBL, because he hopped over the barricade.
yeah,
His
fucking
fat
JBL. And they start getting in this fucking SmackDown versus Raw brawl, and fucking the Raw superstars like run away like cowards, and fucking Teddy Long starts talking about how Raw is gonna beat SmackDown, playa, and he pulled a Roman Reigns and said, "You better believe that." Fucking, and that was that segment. And before we could even just breathe after that absolute fucking mess of a segment, Kurt Angle comes out. Can't even give us like 5 seconds to just to let what we just saw set in. Kurt Angle comes out, and this man looks perked up, ready to go. And he gets in the ring, and they show that last week they did Kurt Angle versus John Cena, and Eric Bischoff screwed John Cena out of the match, and Kurt Angle beat him, and now Kurt Angle gets a title shot against Cena at Taboo Tuesday, which we'll talk more about that later on. And so, oh my fucking god. So, we're sitting here saying, okay, who's gonna face Kurt Angle? Who could it be? You know, the last time it was fucking Marty Jannetty. And now this time fucking Tajiri comes out, of all people. And we legit get a Kurt Angle and Tajiri match where legitimately Tajiri hit like one move and he got fucking dominated by Perk Angle. And Kurt Angle put him in the ankle lock, sat down, and within 1 second, Tajiri tapped out. And then fucking Kurt Angle starts cutting this promo on John Cena. You could tell he was on the perks because Kurt Angle's voice was deep as fuck. And he was fucking talking about how he beat Cena last week, and he's gonna beat him again, and he's like, I loved it so much. Why don't we watch the footage again? And they start showing the footage again of him making Cena tap, quote unquote, because Eric Bischoff screwed him. And then fucking John Cena runs down to the ring in his fucking Chain Gang hoodie and fucking starts hitting the 5 moves of doom on Kurt Angle, and then Kurt Angle gets out of the ring like a coward. And then he gets up on the stage and he starts yelling. He's like, "You want some? You want some?" And that was that fucking segment. Then, once again, before we could breathe, we come back from commercial and all we hear is, "Just look at me." Fucking Rob Conway comes out. And, but, it was just one thing after another, bro. It was just one thing after another. Rob Conway comes out, and we find out that he's having a match, and his opponent was fucking, because apparently he was in a feud with him, fucking Eugene comes out, and me and Austin were like, we're legitimately about to watch a Rob Conway versus Eugene match right now. And the match was not very good. And it ended in a DQ because Robert Conway hit fucking Eugene with a chair, but all as if it couldn't just stop there. No, because, you know, Rob Conway's sitting there hitting him with a chair, and all we hear is, "Ho!" And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? fucking Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Not just Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Kamala, and yes, Jimmy Superfly Snuka all come out, looking all very old and out of shape. And they come in the ring, and they start kicking Rob Conway's ass. And all three of them do their finishers to Rob Conway. Bro. This is so bad, dude. And they fucking align themselves with Eugene for some reason. And we'll get to that here in a minute, because I will fucking say the whole Taboo Tuesday card, because it's quite the show. So after that we get a backstage segment where fucking Todd Grisham is dressed up as this fucking baseball announcer. Fucking, I forget what his name was, but he started doing this really cringy impression, and fucking Gregory Helms was randomly standing there, and he just walked away. And then we see Mick Foley come out of the production truck, and he just starts talking about fucking whatever. He was wearing a fucking McDonald's t-shirt. And then legitimately... Yes, and fucking... So, I also forgot to mention, they showed this promo package for Triple H and Ric Flair, because apparently they were in a rivalry and they were having a match at Taboo Tuesday. And then Ric Flair came out and was saying that, oh, Triple H, you want to say that the game's over, but the game has only begun. And apparently Ric Flair was saying that they're going to be having a steel cage match at Taboo Tuesday. And he said, Triple H, for years, I've kissed your ass, and now, tomorrow at Taboo Tuesday, I'm gonna kick it. And that was that. Then we fucking randomly come to fucking Carlito standing in the ring. And Carlito starts cutting this promo, and then we see fucking not even Mick Foley, because you know they had to do it. Fucking Dude Love pops up on the screen and starts fucking doing his whole thing. And I was like, fuck, now I gotta put Dude Love in the thumbnail. Right when I'm doing that, fucking Cactus Jack pops up on the screen and starts talking about fucking nails and barbed wire and thumbtacks and whatever. And then I'm like, well, fuck, now I gotta put Cactus Jack. And then while I'm doing that, here comes fucking Mankind on the screen talking about Mr. Sacco. And I was just like, bro, why? And so apparently they're doing Mick Foley versus Carlito at Taboo Tuesday. As I said, I'll get more into that here in a bit. So, after that, as Carlito is still cutting his promo, fucking we get this cursed image of Jerry the King Lawler wearing a Burger King mask. Then Jonathan Coachman, who by the way was, like I said, was dressed up like Stone Cold Steve Austin, he gets up, and apparently his whole thing was that tonight he was going to call out Stone Cold Steve Austin, because apparently at Taboo Tuesday it was supposed to be Jonathan Coachman versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. For what fucking reason, I have no idea. But fucking, so he starts calling out Stone Cold, and then fucking, as if it couldn't get worse, Vince McMahon comes out and starts talking about how apparently Stone Cold got in some kind of accident and he's not going to be there tonight, and he's not going to be at Taboo Tuesday. So he announces Jonathan Coachman as the winner. But and Jonathan Coachman brought out none other than Goldust to be in his corner as well, right? So then Mr. McMahon's like, well, I did promise the people that you would be having a match at Taboo Tuesday. And he's like, I figure, Jonathan Coachman, you're Raw's #1 announcer, so why not have you go up against SmackDown's #1 announcer? And fucking Funaki comes out, and he fucking gets in fucking Jonathan Coachman's face, and then him and Goldust just kick the ever-living shit out of Funaki. And then Jonathan Coachman starts bragging, talking about, oh, I want a real challenge. I want a real challenge. And fucking Vince is like, all right. And then fucking Batista comes out. The World Heavyweight Champion comes out in the suit, gets in the ring, and he snatches, well, Jonathan Coachman slaps him, and then he snatches the fuck out of Jonathan Coachman, and then he gets jumped by Jonathan Coachman and Goldust, right? And then he starts overpowering him, and I shit you not, the next thing we hear is, it's time! It's time! It's Vader time! And fucking a so fucking out of shape Vader stumbles down to the ring, gets in the ring, and starts beating up Batista. And fucking the way the segment ends is Vader's like holding Batista back, and Jonathan Coachman's talking trash to him. And Vader hits Batista with an axe handle, and Batista fucking sells it and is laid out from an axe handle. And Jonathan Coachman, Goldust, and Vader fucking go up the stage, and apparently they're both going to be in his corner at Taboo Tuesday, because now it's going to be Jonathan Coachman versus the World Heavyweight Champion Batista at Taboo Tuesday. And then, as if it couldn't get more stupid, here comes Triple H next. Had to sit through this whole goddamn 5-minute Triple H entrance, right? With the lights and the fucking spitting the water on the damn crowd and everything. Gets in the ring, and we're like, oh, who's Triple H facing? I shit you not, all we hear is the world's largest love machine, Viscera. I was like, are you kidding me, bro? I said, please let this not be something stupid, and it was fucking stupid, bro. And fucking Viscera comes down to the ring, and he fucking is trying to go over the top rope, and Triple H just starts whooping his ass, and he can't even get in the ring. And then fucking Viscera like falls in the ring, the bell rings, Triple H picks him up, hits like the shittiest looking pedigree I've ever seen. 1, 2, 3.
He couldn't even lock his arms, bro. He couldn't even lock his arms.
Viscera got jobbed the fuck out, right? So he rolls outside, and then for no reason, Triple H just blasts him in the face with the steel steps. And then Triple H starts cutting this promo to Ric Flair, talking about, now that was vicious and that was brutal. And he's like, Ric Flair, you know me. I've done a lot of bad things in my life, and I've taken the responsibility for all the bad things that I've ever done. And he's like, but tomorrow at Taboo Tuesday, and what I do to you, the things I do to you, I'm not gonna be responsible for. And he was saying like, he was basically saying like, the way he's acting now, like how sinister he's being, is how Ric Flair used to be. And he's like Rick, when I fucking punish you, it's not because I want to, it's because I have to. And then Triple H gets out of the fucking ring. And I was just like, bro, like, there can't be no more stupidness. There really can't. And then we get this fucking backstage promo with Todd Gresham and John Cena, and fucking John Cena starts talking about Todd Gresham's Halloween costume. He's like, oh, I want you to give me your best impression. And he does the impression. And I shit you not, John Cena looks at him like dead in the face, and John Cena says, that was sad. And me and Austin started laughing. And then
delivery, man.
And then John Cena starts going on this whole promo, because we find out that apparently fucking there's going to be a voting between Shawn Michaels, Kane, and The Big Show, and whoever the fans vote for is going to be added to the John Cena and Kurt Angle match to make it a triple threat for the WWE title. And John Cena starts talking about, he doesn't care who gets added, and he knows everybody wants a shot, and he's gonna get revenge on Kurt Angle, and fucking talked about Eric Bischoff, and then was saying, oh, the champ is here, and I don't back down from nobody, I don't quit, and he's like, and the championship is gonna stay right here, and then speaking of Big Show and Kane, we cut back to the ring and we see these two fucking dorks dressed up as the most terrible looking Batmen I've ever seen. Come to fucking find out, once again, it's the fucking Heartthrobs. Because why not? So we get this impromptu tornado tag match because then the Big Show comes out. And then Kane comes out. So we get a tornado tag of the Big Show and Kane versus the Heartthrobs. And the Heartthrobs pretty much got fucking jobbed out. They were getting chokeslammed. Big Show did a fucking superplex for no fucking reason. And that was pretty much it. And then after that, we got the fucking Jerry Lawler's in the ring, and we get the fucking Divas Halloween costume contest, which consisted of, let me look at everybody in here. So we had Ashley Mazzaro as the Dark Angel, then we had Maria Kanellis as a regular angel, then we had the porn star herself, Candice Michelle, as Catwoman. Then fucking Victoria as a fucking baseball player. Then Mickie James dressed up as Trish Stratus and had a cardboard women's championship. And then the final... Oh, go ahead.
I just said yeah.
Oh, and then the final woman in the match was the women's champion. She dressed up as Wonder Woman, Trish Stratus. And this segment was bad, dude. Like, so first off, you'll see PNGs of all of them in the thumbnail. And if you're wondering why Victoria isn't in her Halloween costume, for some odd reason, there's PNGs of everybody from this match in their costumes except Victoria. I don't fucking know why. I don't care. Anyway, fucking, so we get this costume contest, and fucking Jerry Lawler's like, oh, who do you think has the best costume? And all the women are like showing off, and then fucking Jerry Lawler's simping, and the crowd's simping, and then when Maria Kanellis came up, Austin started simping, and fucking then Mickie James grabs the microphone. She's like, no, don't cheer for them, cheer for Trish, she deserves to win. And because this was during the whole thing where fucking Mickie was obsessed with Trish, is that whole storyline. And then fucking Victoria gets in her face and is like, oh, Mickie, shut your little ass up. And then fucking Mickie and Victoria start brawling, and Victoria gets fucking thrown out of the ring. And then for whatever reason, everybody just gangs up on Candice Michelle. I'm sure she's used to getting ganged up on in a different way. But fucking, so they start doing the Spirit Squad finisher where the Spirit Squad would like grab each limb and like throw them in the air, except they didn't fucking throw Candice Michelle in the air. They were like lifting her up and like gently putting her back down. It looked so fucking awful, and she was selling it. And then fucking Victoria gets back in the ring, and she takes out Mickie James, and then Trish Stratus hits her with a fucking kick to the face, and Victoria goes back outside, and fucking, that's just how the segment ends. And that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh, God. So then, all that's left from that point was just the main event. It was the WWE Champion John Cena versus Shawn Michaels. And at this point, there was only like 13 minutes left. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, didn't put him in the thumbnail because I could not find a picture of him, but there was somebody in the crowd that was dressed up as Freddy Krueger, and my God, it was like the worst Freddy Krueger costume I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it was actually bad, dude.
So we get this match. It was the match was okay. They were saying that it was the first time ever that John Cena and Shawn Michaels fought each other. It was okay, but the match was short-lived because, lo and behold, Kurt Angle comes running out, and he starts fucking beating the shit out of John Cena, and then he starts fucking suplexing the fuck out of Shawn Michaels, and then fucking John Cena picks up Kurt Angle for the FU, and then Shawn Michaels sweet chin music's John Cena, and him and Kurt Angle both fall to the mat, and then they were just laid out, and then Shawn Michaels picks up the WWE title and then fucking holds it over his head, and he legit fucking spun the spinner on the spinner belt. And that's how the fucking Halloween Raw ended. But alas, because you know, it can't just, that's just not enough, because we're gonna get into this fucking Taboo Tuesday card. Because that's what this show was building up to.
This was the go-home show, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm trying to find the match card here real quick. Just so I can lay out everything. Because this is quite the card. So, basically, you have it starts with the interpromotional Raw versus SmackDown tag team match. Would you like to know who it is? Because we saw it just said like the fans could pick. So
yeah, sure.
So what a fucking match. So the match is Matt Hardy and Rey Mysterio versus the greatest fucking team I've ever seen in my life. Austin, are you ready for this? They're facing the team of Chris Masters and Snitsky.
Bro.
What a fucking team. And then this is even worse, because next we get Eugene, and the fans could vote between Jimmy Snuka, Kamala, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you'll never guess who they voted for.
God, who?
Jimmy Snuka.
Oh no.
And they took on Rob Conway and Tyson Tomko. Then next was the Carlito match, and the fans voted which face of Foley he was gonna face, and it was fucking Mankind.
No doubt.
Then for the World Tag Team titles, the fans got to vote who Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch were going to defend against, and the options were Big Show and Kane, Shawn Michaels and Big Show, or Shawn Michaels and Kane, and they voted for the Big Show and Kane, to no one's surprise. Then we had the Jonathan Coachman versus Batista match. And Jonathan Coachman was with Goldust and Vader, and the fans got to vote which match type is either going to be a fucking debate like we seen with John Cena and JBL, or a arm wrestling match, or the third option, a street fight. And this match was a street fight, Austin. Then this is what the purpose of the Halloween costume contest was for, to build this up, because the fans got to vote for if they what they wanted the women to wear, because next they had the women's championship Fulfill Your Fantasy Battle Royal of Trish Stratus defending against Mickie James, Victoria, Candice Michelle, Maria, and Ashley, and the fans voted it to be a lingerie battle royal.
I'm gonna have to go back to that later.
Then For the Intercontinental title, the fans voted for the Steel Cage match. Ric Flair defended against Triple H. And then the main event, to no one's surprise, John Cena defended against Kurt Angle. And the third man, the options were either Shawn Michaels, Big Show, or Kane. And to no one's surprise, everybody voted Shawn Michaels. So that's the Taboo Tuesday card, Austin.
Oh my fucking god, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
god.
what a show they were building up to. And also on this show, they were like showing promotions for fucking Survivor Series as well, so that was coming up soon. So yeah, fucking who knew that we were gonna be watching another 2005 Raw so fucking soon? What a what a fucking show, dude. Like, the thing is, there's probably fucking shows in 2005 that were like way worse than this too. Like,
Probably, dude.
oh, you know, it'd be something like fucked that we should watch.
What?
We've watched 2005 SmackDown, and we've watched 2005 Raw. Now, we watched the old school version of this, but what would you say to watching a 2006 episode of ECW, Austin? Because we already talked about fucking December to Dismember from 2006.
That would be painful, if I'm going to be completely honest with you.
We'll fucking see, but yeah, that was pretty much the fucking Raw, October 31st, 2005 Halloween edition of Monday Night Raw. Jesus fucking Christ, this show was bad, dude. It was fucking bad. There wasn't one good match on this show, bro. Like, the most entertaining match was probably the Kurt Angle match, but all the other matches were like extremely short, and none of them were really that good. So, and everything else outside of that was just so fucking cursed. So, yeah, happy Halloween, everyone. Austin, you got anything to say since this was your doing?
No. No.
Oh, you're not gonna take responsibility like Triple H does, Austin?
I mean, I take responsibility for finding this shit. But Jesus.
Well, with this bullshit out of the way, I guess the only thing that's left to say is fucking happy Halloween, everyone. Fucking hell.
Oh, God, dude.